Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is Jake Reads Your Comments, number...
Garden Gnome.
Garden Gnome, sure.
Number Garden Gnome.
Sure, there you go. So today we're here, and Jake has collected some of your comments from across our various videos and has decided that these are the ones he's going to talk about because you were either really smart or, more likely, really dumb.
I like this part.
So, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these comments. Our first comment comes from Atheist Bible Study number 80, and this is Connor C., a.k.a. Evocative Kitsune. Is that an anime thing?
Maybe.
Is that what the kids are doing these days with their
know.
anime and their tentacle porn? Anyway, I've been watching for a while now, but I still can't tell who is Hugo and who is Jake. Am I a fucking idiot?
Well, that was a weird way. Am I a fucking, like you're a radio DJ? Yes and no. Like, I don't think you're a fucking idiot. Maybe not even an idiot. Maybe a fuck. You're just a fuck. Because I get it. Sometimes we sound a little bit alike, but Hugo is the one that reads the book, and I'm the one that doesn't.
Except in things like this, it becomes a little difficult. Except not really, because I'm the one who's reading the comments, and you're the one who's answering them.
I have a deeper voice, and we definitely have a different way of speaking.
I sound like this.
And I sound like this.
We're both white guys.
I get it.
Around
like,
the same age.
Totally,
so.
like, I say you're in the clear 10 to 15% of the time, but 85% of the time, we sound pretty fucking different.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't blame you for not recognizing who's who, but you're wrong.
Yeah, just try.
I'm the slightly younger white guy.
And I'm the slightly older white guy with a beard that you can't hear. Here, listen. Can you hear my beard?
I can hear your beard, and I'm sitting right here. I can see it, though, too. Maybe the visual is helping. That's a sensual rub. That's the most sensual beard rub I've seen
really
in a long time.
Right now. Anyways, see, I'm more velvety.
He is more velvety.
You're
I'm
welcome.
more shrill, and I'm only
You're
here.
not shrill.
I'm here for the money.
All right, next one.
This is from a review of For the Bible Tells Me So. Deviant Despot. That's how I say it.
Despot.
Yep. If it is genetic or is a genetic component, then can't it be altered during development to ensure your child is straight or not? Of course, they're talking about homosexuality.
Yeah.
Same with transgender. Could that be remedied prior to development if we do discover it has a genetic components? Finally, if those possibilities are shown to be accomplishable, should we?
That is actually an interesting question, because this started out kind of, I thought you were going to be ignorant, but actually you're very thoughtful, so I'm glad that didn't turn into, should we get rid of the gays? Personally, I wouldn't change it unless it was a medical birth, like a heart condition or mental retardation or something. I don't really care about your predisposition towards any sort of sexuality whatsoever. But I would get it if someone didn't want their kid to go through that. But I think by the time that's going to be a feasible thing, it won't matter. Like, right, if you could do it today, it makes sense. I don't think any parent would be like, I want my kid to have a harder time in life than I did, being a heterosexual, pretty binary.
I think it's a complicated issue because, in one sense, I'm fully supportive of people who are transgender trying to live their lives truthfully to be who they feel they are. Great. But the thing is, wouldn't it be easier to not have to deal with that in the first place? If you already are that, and you are transgender, and you say, hey, I genuinely feel like I'm a woman or I feel like I'm a man, great, I'll treat you how you want to be treated, that's awesome. Do you. But it's also, that's such a rough situation to put someone in. I gotta assume,
I can't imagine,
and maybe I'm assuming too much. I know we have at least a couple transgender listeners. If you want to talk about this,
because I can't empathize, so I have no.
I'd assume even they would acknowledge it's so much harder to live as transgender
I would assume so,
than it needs to be. So if you could take that out and it doesn't affect the person in any other way, is that okay? But that's a moral issue as talking about genetic engineering any features in a child, because by taking away certain features, even if you're saying a positive thing that seems like a net positive, we'll make sure this kid is really smart, or we'll make sure this kid is really attractive. In a sense, you're taking away what could have been a different person, but at the same time, is that really fair to say and talk about what could have been or what might be?
It's a very genetic restructuring and kind of designer babies is what they're called. It's a very interesting discussion. I think we've touched on it at least once briefly in like an Ask Hugo before. I don't know. I don't even know if you could identify transgenderism in a baby at all. Anyways, I
don't know.
I don't know. That's.
But see, I've heard two things.
Because they're not that's a development in your mind, like when they're in the stage that you could do that. I feel like that's more of a late term thing. I have no idea, I guess.
And even talking to people who are transgender now in adulthood, because I know a couple of people who are transgender.
Yeah, one of our good friends, Stephanie.
And someone else, not her, but someone else that I was talking to on the internet, they were talking about how if they could take a pill today and identify as the gender that they were born as, they would do it because it's just so difficult. But I've also heard the opposite. In rebuttals to that, I've heard, no, I'd rather just be who I feel I am. And it's an interesting question because certain people are going to feel one way and certain people are going to feel another way. Same thing with homosexuality. Some people, if they could, would take a pill and totally want to be straight or whatever society's average is, let's say, but tons of people would say, no, I just want to be who I am, and that's totally reasonable. I get that, and part of it's a product of our society that's so against these things. It really depends.
I think if there wasn't any stigma involved with your sexuality or the perception of your gender at all, I don't think this would be a question ever, but obviously it is. Again, and every time we talk about sexuality in any way whatsoever, we always get like a handful of people who are like, fuck you for generalizing blank. Okay, but I mean, you know, we can't make a fucking thesis out of this. So what you gotta do is just understand that we are straight white men and we are ignorant to the struggles and trials of someone who is not, for the most part. Like, I can educate myself all I want, I'll never live it. So if it ever sounds ignorant, it is. But it's not intentional. Like, we're not trying to be assholes. So for anyone that identifies LGBTQ at all, like, talk in the comments, because I don't know the answer to this question, and I'd like to hear a lot of people.
I don't think anyone. There isn't a correct. The problem is there isn't a correct answer to the question.
I think that's true. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's probably, honestly, something we're going to have to deal with in our lifetime, though.
Yeah, I'd say 20, 30 years.
I'd say maybe 40. 40 is...
Well, I don't know about, maybe not... I don't know about orientation, but designer babies for sure.
Oh, yeah. So this was on our Heaven is for Real review. Elijah Jenkins says, I'm a Christian and I have plenty of friends who choose to not believe, and my girlfriend is actually a devout atheist.
Devout.
I know. I have my beliefs and they have theirs. I don't see the problem. Why bash these people for reviewing an awful movie? Let's be honest here. This movie is low-grade propaganda. And he goes to talk on more about that, and then he says, point is, people are too easily butthurt. It's an awful movie, point blank, and if some kid's story is the backbone to what you believe, you need to rethink a few things.
I love this comment.
I know.
For several reasons. Number one, we do get a lot of shit for this review, and also God's Not Dead, because people are like, why even review the movie? And we touched on this in one of the last, question-answered episodes we did, whether it was his or mine. Because we enjoy it is the answer. But, like, we don't need people to be like, fuck off for it.
I know. I don't understand. Because regardless of whether or not you're Christian, because I remember what it was like to be Christian. I was a Christian. I would still think these movies were shitty because they're shitty movies, and your entire faith shouldn't be based on whether or not a film is quality. You should be able to say, I'm a Christian, and this Christian movie was shit because the message was way too in your face, and it wasn't really representative of what, I might believe or what certain Christians believe.
The second part I like about this is that they are a Christian, and a lot of atheists think Christians aren't reasonable people and shouldn't be even talked to or communicated with, and this is why we do communicate with them. Because this guy, he has his shit together, he has a different cosmology than me and thinks he's in a different place in the universe than I do. But I mean, that's the most reasonable goddamn comment we have on this video.
I know. See, Christians aren't unreasonable. Certain people are.
Oh, yeah.
Atheists, Christians, fucking anything. There are people who are unreasonable. And what's funny is I seem to see atheists like to seek out the unreasonable ones because they think it's fun, even though it's super frustrating. And it's like, those aren't the people you should be talking to. You're not going to change their minds. They're obviously not going to change yours. So what's the point? Yeah. If you just want to fuck with someone, that's kind of stupid. But do what you got to do. But I would rather spend my time talking to people in a productive way and try and understand why other people believe what they believe and try and help them to understand why I believe what I believe.
I know. Start a narrative and have a discussion. And obviously, we aren't a bastion of intellectual prowess.
No, we're dumb as shit.
Right. But, I mean, this is the kind of thing that our show allows because, we are comedy first. And this is we have thousands of Christian fans, and I would love to see more of this in the comments. I think Christians get scared to comment on our shit because of the mob that they have to face almost every time on these kinds of videos. But I know you guys are out there. I know some of you are probably watching right now. So just go ahead, because I'll fucking stick up for you if you're not.
If people treat you like assholes, I will. I think you're wrong, probably, but still, if people are being assholes, they're being assholes, and I'll call them out on it. This is from one of our atheist Bible study videos called Girls with Dicks or something like that.
Something like that.
Anyway.
Guys with Vaginas?
Yeah, Guys with Vaginas, that's what it was. And in that video, we talked about some of the commandments. And for instance, one of them in the Bible is don't lie with a man as one does with a woman.
Right.
And the joke we made was, what, that commandment's just supposed to mean don't have sex with a man with a vagina. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Because when you're born biologically male, you have a penis. Yeah. And we're not talking about any sort of gender issues. We're talking about biologically penis, vagina. And this is what this person said. Emre Akrak Conradi says, well, guys, your take on the as a man with a woman bit is kind of transphobic. We fucking have gotten several versions of this comment on that video.
And that's why I picked this one, because it's not transphobic, guys. It's we're doing it in God and Gabriel, and then God is ignorant of it. Like, get over it.
That's the fucking joke. And obviously, we talked about it earlier in this video, we're in fully support of anyone who's transgender or whatever. Some people are so fucking sensitive, it's ridiculous.
I bet that person has a Tumblr.
This was on our fireproof video. Jeff Mays comments, no pun intended, but are you guys Jews? Is that a pun?
I don't think it's a pun, but
the only religion I know that crucifies Christians on a regular basis, as their Talmud teaches. The Talmud teaches to shit on Christianity, even though it predates it. That's super impressive. Mary was a whore. Jesus was a bastard burning in hell in his own excrement. Wow,
you spelled it wrong.
I know.
Excrement, which is Jesus poop.
I really don't think atheists care that much about Christians, but your attacks on Christians on a regular basis is just a little more than suspicious. Maybe rant some stuff on other religions, as there are literally millions.
Millions of religions?
No, even if you take into account every single sect, there aren't
I'll give
millions.
You thousands.
Hundreds of thousands, I'll give you even, but not millions. Maybe Satan worship?
Okay, Satan worship sucks. Done.
Maybe call out the Jews?
We are talking about the Jews right now. They suck.
Show me something, guys, that proves you're in fact not just a couple of Jews hiding behind false identities.
I don't.
My real name is Shlomonsky. Shlomo. Surprise. Anyway. Look at Anshkazi Jew Howard Stern. Oh my god, yeah. Howard Stern? Okay. For instance, he's a known Jew and a well-known Christian hater. You could have said it. There are a lot of Jewish people. You could have said a lot of...
Adam Sandler?
Whatever. Until I see some proof of the contrary, I'll just assume you're a couple of Talmud thumping, and then you didn't expand, but I assume... Okay.
It's Jews.
I assumed it was Jews. So, what are we going to say about this?
We're Jews. You got us.
Surprise.
We are the Jewiest Jews. We eat those Hebrew national hot dogs.
I love me some unleavened bread.
And
we control the banks. Every movie you've ever seen.
Yeah, other Jewish Holocaust didn't happen, or it did. I don't know which one to pick now.
We're also lizards.
Yeah.
You're welcome. This is from Ask Hugo 18, in which I talked about the Duggars and how much I hate them. Yeah. Robert Miles says, fuck any and all feminazis in the comments section and the homos who side with them. Of course these Hugo and Jake faggots hate the Duggars. Yep. They'd certainly hate it when whites reproduce instead of letting themselves get demographically outnumbered or
miscongenited. I don't know that word. Maybe he's smarter than me. By colored swine, Hugo.
By colored swine. Lazy, parasitic, Marxist, multiculturalist. Very clever that you had highlighted cult.
Diversityist?
Liberal turds are never thrilled when white men are men, white women are women, and whites don't put up with or engage in homo behavior. That's totally true. I hate it when people aren't all up in each other's butts. That's the thing I'm focused on, is people fucking butts and scissoring all day long. If they're not, I'm very upset with them.
I think this guy is a white genocide guy.
I think so. Which are the classiest of folks.
So, I'm for white genocide?
That'd be confusing, because we're white, so...
Are we?
They wouldn't know.
He doesn't think we are, I think.
No,
or maybe he thinks we're self-hating.
He thinks we're quote self-hating white people.
Okay, so for any white genocide people out there, and they're so fucking amazing, they're like truthers, but like 8,000 times better.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck tan people or darker. Like, just don't do it. And then it won't, like, you're good. Like, that's the only thing that doesn't matter. And I've said this to people, and they're like, you can't tell me who to have sex with. And it's like, well, then, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, just calm down. You can fuck Halle Berry, or you don't have to if she wants your D. Or you can have sex with Denzel if he wants your V. Like, whatever you need, bro. I don't know how to rebut these. These are weird. These are weird people. I picked this so just so you guys could know that these people exist.
Okay.
And we should delete the internet.
This is on our Chick Tract video, Mean Mama. Rude Red. I just left the drive-thru at Starbucks. Was listening to this right at Vestigial Penis. Guy asks me if that's TBR. Got my coffee for free. Yeah. I don't believe you. I don't believe this story for 1 second. I don't believe this at all. You're full of shit.
You don't think so?
No.
I think so.
I don't believe this happened.
This happens sometimes. People tell me about it. Like, I don't know about the free coffee part,
yeah,
but people saying that, is this TBR? Like,
I could believe that. The free coffee is what makes me think it's fake.
The free coffee? Well, my mom ran into someone that works at Meijer the other day, and Meijer, if you're not aware, if you are from not the Midwest of the United States, it's like a Walmart, but it's like not janky as fuck.
And also the employees are unionized.
Yeah. And they have rights, and it's much nicer in there, and the produce is edible. But, and she was wearing our TBR shirt, which is really cool of my mom to do.
Yeah.
She's kind of a dork, so she does that sort of thing. And actually, she texted me. She called me 4 times. I didn't pick up because I was driving. And she texted and was like, you should give swag to this person because they knew the shirt and they said you had a good show. No, Mom, we're not going to do that. But
my mom said the same thing.
Did she?
Because she knows people who know the show, and they're like, you should do something for them. I'm like, Mom, if we fucking did something for all 90,000 of the people who watch the show, don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of you. It's just not.
We can't.
It's not feasible to, like, every time we run into someone who knows the show, like, oh, here's a bunch of free stuff. Like, we couldn't do that.
I don't even have free stuff for myself.
If you ever see us in a t-shirt and it happens to be us, I'll gladly stop and talk to you and be like, hey, thanks. But
I'd be more than happy to, like, chit-chat with fans or whatever, or if you have, for some goddamn reason, you want me to sign a thing, I guess. There's no point in it. You'll never make any money off of my signature. But if you want that, you can. And I write terribly. People that got our Bibles know how poorly our handwriting is. So, poorly our handwriting is? Poorly our speaking is as well. But no, this is cool if this is true. But I know that people, like, some people are like, were parked and listening to us, and they're like, oh my god, TBR, because they could hear it on the person's radio. That's cool, and I like that. If you guys have more stories like this, please share it. I'd appreciate you not making it up, and because I said that, you're going to make it up.
Yeah.
Utah, gimme 2. That's cool, and it's in quotes.
This is on our Heaven is for Real review. Quote, Utah, gimme 2.
Gimme 2. Gimme 2 right here.
2.
Up here.
Right on.
Well, it's...
Okay.
That was... Okay.
Anyway. Dude, you guys talk way too much. That's it. You talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up.
It's a movie review, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can't just play the movie.
No, that'd be playing the movie.
That'd be copyright infringement. A lot of it.
Yeah.
So we have... We have to do that.
No, I get it. I don't know if they do, though. And if you, like, I understand not liking our movie reviews.
You don't have to watch it.
Because some of them are long, but you can just, like, leave. I get it. Totally. I wouldn't watch us, but...
people like it, but, I mean, yeah. Like, we have to talk over it.
I like that he calls us collectively homeboy, though.
Are we one homeboy?
Yeah.
Do we have to share one backwards hat?
Yeah.
Like, we swap weekends and then every other day?
We have to share one backwards hat, but both have to wear it at once. So for one of us, it's a backwards hat, and the other one, it's a forwards hat, and then we switch. We're
like a weird homeboy cat dog.
You know the worst part about what you just said?
You thought the same thing?
I was about to make the same joke. And that doesn't even really make sense.
We are collectively homeboy. You're right. That worked out.
No.
Utah, gimme 2. You're right.
Anyways.
We should shut up.
So thanks, everyone. You can always check us out at Bible Reloaded.
You can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded.
That's on the Twitter, by the way, if we didn't clarify. If you didn't guess with the ampersand. No, ampersand is the and one.
It's the at
This is
symbol.
the at symbol.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know computer things.
You can also donate to our Patreon, which is got quite the spike recently. And by the way, we're going to be doing live things at the beginning of every month starting in August for patrons only, as a thank you to all the people that help us make the show happen. So if you guys want to jump on board of that, it only takes $1 Patreon patron thing, and just to go through cycles and stick around. And so because if you don't actually pay into it, we're not going to send you the link.
Yeah.
Because I could feel like someone would be a douchebag about it. Most of you are cool about it, though. But and
it's like if for some reason you joined on and for like a month or two you couldn't do it, totally, I get it. Like,
yeah, that's fine.
But just like if you signed on to get the Patreon things and then you never ever
we get a spike at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I can select who we send those to.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
But anyways, you can also subscribe, and maybe your comment will be shown up on here.
Yeah. So other than that,
you forget how to end the show?
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone. I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jay.
And this has been Jake Reads Your Comments.
Garden Gnome?
We said Garden Gnome.
Was it Garden Gnome?
Yeah, why do you have to fuck up the numbering?
I don't know, but this is fun. I get to find a PNG of a Garden Gnome.
That won't be hard.
That's yours.
Oh, yeah. I was like, when's he going to stop it?